Ay, ay, ay.
Vanessa, get off my back. Vanessa, get off my back.
You will always be the catch. And repeat that again. You will always be the catch. And that is a few words I want you to just sit on, reflect on, as I go through this video. You will always be the catch. No matter where you're going in the world, whether it's in South America, America, Antarctica, Europe, Asia, Africa, no matter where you're going in the world, some things never change. And that one thing that never changes is what women expect from you. Let me repeat that again. No matter where you go in the world, there are some things that never change. And that one thing that never changes is what women want from you. Women want a man that provides. Women want a man that takes care of them. Women want a man that provides assistance. Women want a man that's there for them. Women want a man to fulfill their needs, their desires, their dreams, take them on trips. This is one constant that will never change from country to country, from continent to continent, city to city. And I tried to explain this to this one client one time before, and she just didn't listen. She just didn't listen. And she had this false sense of women are the catch. She was confused and thinking women are the catch. Because here's my thing. Let me explain to you right now what a catch is, right? Let's go through what a catch is. A catch is, if you're the catch, that means if someone leaves your life, they continue to suffer. I'm going to repeat that again. If you're the catch, that means if someone leaves your life, they continue to suffer. Every woman that I've dated left my life and continued to suffer. Things were not the same without me in their life. Taking that into account, who was the catch? Me or my exes? Men will always have an advantage, right? And this is why I try to tell men that if you work on 2 or 3 things, you'll always have opportunities. I don't care what you look like, right? Pause. If you work on a few things, you'll always have opportunities. One of those things is your body, right? If you work out, if you go to the gym, if no matter how you get to where you're trying to get, you'll have opportunities, right? If you work on your finances, this is in no particular order, by the way. If you work on your finances, no matter how you cut the cake, even without going to the gym, you will always have opportunities. Because I see a lot of men, right, in a lot of foreign countries that's, you can tell they don't go to the gym. Ain't been to the gym in 7 years, but they're with a woman that I find attractive. And why do you think this guy that doesn't go to the gym, he's overweight, is with this woman with a thin waist, the BBL, and double D's? How do you think he got her? I'll give you a hint. It probably just wasn't because of his personality, right? So money, the gym, right? Right? Because, you know, you start going to the beach and, going out and traveling, like women love to take pictures. And if you're looking crazy in the picture, you're not going to be in it. Matter of fact, I was on this young lady's page yesterday. Dominican woman. You know, I know she got her body done. Her face is about a two. Right. Her body's about an eight. Of course it's about an eight she paid for, right? Well, her face is like a two or three. Her body's an eight. And she's at the beach and she didn't show the guy's face. You seen like an elbow, you seen like an arm. And I could tell from just from that elbow or that arm that he was overweight, right? And don't get me wrong, men that don't work out, and people, oh, you don't got to work out. You men that don't work out, yes, you're still going to get a woman if you have money, right? If you're leading with the green, if you're still taking care of her, you're still going to get a woman. The catch is, you know, if she gonna post you, she gonna show you all. She may not. I'm not saying no woman's not going to, right? When you start loving someone and fall in love, you can do things that you wouldn't normally do. But a lot of these women that are going to post you on their social media, and who wants to be with a woman and that woman is being with you in secret? That woman is being with you in private. That no one knows you're together but you and her. So I always suggest men chase money by getting shit. And last but not least, my third one is provide opportunities for yourself, right? Whether you have a good job or education or your business, whatever the case may be, put yourself in a situation for long-term change. I'm going to repeat that. Put yourself in a situation for long-term change, right? Put yourself in a situation for success, whether that's real estate or stocks or crypto or what other kind of legal and illegal activities that you may think of. Put yourself in a situation for success. Set yourself up for a future. Set yourself up for something that's promising in 20 or 30 years, or maybe even less, where you can go and retire. You can go and relax. You can go and settle down. I don't care if it's in the States or not in the States. You have somewhere comfortable, a farm, I don't care. You have somewhere comfortable that you can set yourself up to where you're not working for the rest of your life. Set yourself up so where you have something to fall back on if things go wrong, or you get into an accident, you can't work. Because who wants to work when they're 80, 90, 100 years old? Passport roles will always be the catch. And I'm going to be more specific. Men will always be the catch. Men will always be the catch. And my ex-wife, I go to her page just to check up on her, make sure she's still struggling, right? Along with African Queen and Vanessa. I like to see her still struggling. Listen, you can go on a trip all day. You could have maxed your credit card out. You could have been in debt. Your account could have been overdraft. Like people be trying to put trips on social media. Just because you went on a vacation don't mean you ain't struggling. So I went on my ex-wife's page. Like, man, she's still beautiful, man. She's still thick. She's still red bone. She's still voluptuous, right? But I'm gonna do a video on my ex-wife one day, and it gets funky, right? It gets weird. It gets an interesting story. Not as interesting as Vanessa's, but it's still an interesting story nonetheless. But I went on her page just to make sure she's still struggling. Because women are bringing one thing to a relationship, and that's the grounding pound. The grounding pound. Every woman that I've ever been with in my life, when I sit back in my bed and I look, what did she bring to a relationship? It was the grounding pound. That's it. That's it. Like, see, yeah, after a while, we got along and we connected and, we overlooked each other's, or mainly I overlooked their faults. And they had some cool personalities. They were cool to hang out with. A lot of these women were cool to hang out with. Vanessa was cool to hang out with when, she wasn't working or with her child or spending time with her baby's father or with her mother. A lot of these women, honestly, guys, a lot of these women are just cool to hang out with. African Queen was great to hang. African Queen, when she wasn't mad, right? You go on that woman, man, her specifically, she gets mad easy, right? And a lot of us would probably, because of her family, right? I do a video on her too one day. A lot of the family uh, that she had negatively impacted her morale, right? When African Queen and I were by herself and she wasn't around her family, like we went on trips and did little things together, did adventures and, stuff around the country, the city. Got them. We were actually, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, African Queen was my favorite travel partner, except our last country, and I might do a video on that later, but except for, something that happened in our last country that we went together. African Queen was my favorite travel partner. Like we laughed, we joked, we had fun, we tried new things. She wanted to try this, try it, let's do this, let's do that. When we try this, you want to go here, how about this, let's do this trip, let's do this tour, how about this restaurant, let's try this food. Like African Queen was my favorite travel partner. Besides for an incident that happened once and, things went south. But a lot of these women, when you look at, hey, this woman being my friend, quote unquote, versus this woman being my partner, it's just best to have these women as your friends. It's no stress. And a woman does nothing for you. Now, listen, I'm going to beat this in the ground. I don't expect a woman to do anything for me. But a woman's going to do nothing for you. She can get you some underwear, some cheap cologne, some shirts, a belt, some cheap stuff from the dollar store, and wrap it up and give it to you as a present. A woman's going to do. I'm gonna get more specific. A woman's going to do nothing beneficial for you in your life. Nothing of substance. Nothing that you're gonna look back and be like, man, I'm so glad she got me that. That helped. I'm using that right now. Women are friends. Women are people that we can talk to. There is no need for you to take a woman and bring her out of their friend zone. I have women right now on social media, WhatsApp, that I talk to a couple times a week, and I don't know what they're talking about or what they think, but I know that we will never be together. We will never be in a relationship. I will never claim you, and you will never claim me. I don't know what I'm lying to them about. I don't know what they think I'm leading them on about. Just because I talk to you, whatever. But I know that there will never be nothing between them. Men, live a life without having to be with one woman for the rest of your life. Live a life without having to sleep with one woman for the rest of your life. Passport bros. Listen, when you're going overseas and you're seeing these beautiful women, don't go to Eindhoven, Netherlands, because they crazy. But when you're going overseas and you're feeling these beautiful women, don't get caught off guard. And I was, when my first time overseas, Thailand specifically, man, wow, lights, women, easy, man. And I'm, pregnant, baby, 9 months, see you later. Good luck, I won't be here. And I know how easy it is to go overseas and fall in love. From experience, I know how easy it is to go overseas and get attached and want to start relationships. I know. Because some of these women overseas are going to rock your world. And literally, they're going to rock your world. They're going to show you a great time. They're going to do something crazy. And you're like, oh, wow. Don't stop, don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller Records, crazy. You're like, man, I need to hold on to her. Don't get caught up in the maze. Let the smoke clear. But know right now, man, that you are the catch. Any woman that needs you to pay her bills, any woman that needs you to provide for her, any woman that needs you to contribute to her household, any woman that needs you to do stuff for her, get her hair and her nails done, any woman that has some sort of expectation based off of social media and her mother brainwashing, that believes that you should financially provide for her, it's not a catch. That's a woman who needs you. And any woman who needs you can't possibly be the kind.